Are you a row machine guy or are you a soul bike guy?
I like the bike way better than the rower. And I do like the rower, but I like the bike.
Same.
I mean, the rower's brutal too. You can, because there's so much like blood oxygen that gets pulled out immediately because there's so much muscle mass involved. But there's also, there's an ability of you have to know how to row. And it's not hard, but you do need to, it's kind of squats. Got to know how to squat a little bit before you can squat. And the bike's brainless and can be really hard. Good interval training. Brainless bikes. That's our next product. Brainless bikes. Built by the Strength Coach, powered by BW Tax.
Made out of cast iron.
So if you're building a home gym, you would lean bike over rower.
I would. Jeff does make a good point about leaning the rower up and flipping it up vertical. Then it's a pretty small footprint, but then you got to flip it down. Like we dealt with that on ship. You had to like flip the rower down, and then there's like a hose behind you, and you're worried about like extending all the way because you hit your head on something. And people's garages often are like ships. There's not a lot of extra room in there. There's a lot of stuff going on. The bike's pretty stationary. It's literally a stationary bike. You can't hang stuff on it. It doesn't turn into a drink machine. I prefer the bike. I also am doing strength and conditioning and zero endurance stuff. Yeah. So, there's value in people that want to row 5,000 meters. Jeff's correct. You can ride a bike for a long time. I don't do that. I want a bunch of bang for my buck. Hey, let me just fry myself in a short amount of time, and a small baseline of conditioning on top of what I get from my strength training is enough for me. I prefer the bike, but I could see an argument for rower. If you are an endurance person, it gets really cold where you live and you want a way to do something, but
no, I think that's
And I will say Rogue does make a dang good fan bike. Well, I guess I'd say the belt driven bike. Other brands do like a belt driven bike, and I think that's the superior. There's less like slack in the system. And then also like the chain bikes, like the like Assault Fitness makes, those ones I've only really seen in like commercial gyms or CrossFit gyms where they have a high volume of usage, but those things are broken all the time. The chain's just like, there's too much slack in the system, and then the chain usually wants to break. So you get whatever brand you get, I think go with like a belt driven one.
Belt driven. Okay.
Yeah. Belt fed Marine wants a belt driven bike. That makes sense. That tracks. As a machine gunner, I like the links in my chain. I prefer the chain gang.